Hey guys, Fairy Path of Pain here. Alright, well, we were having a little dispute on one of my channels here. Uh, not here, sorry. But anyway, we were trying to see which was, better, and it seems that if I had one more match with this guy, I would have won. And if I had attacked with the Fossil Dyna, as you'll later see around turn 10 or 11, that would have secured my victory and we would have gone into game 3. So, anyway, Psychics versus Firekings. Let's watch. That's the Dyna that I should have attacked with. I used this to get out, 2 of these. I probably should have tried to get, 2 Esper Girl into the banished pile instead, so I could get a +2 into my hand. But I obviously wasn't thinking clearly. So he attacks around my guys. I use telepathic power to gain some HP, or life points, sorry. So my next turn I flip someone that, normal that, banish another Esper, attack for 19. That was where I should have attacked. If I hadn't attacked, I would have won a few turns later. So like roughly turn 6. That would have, yeah, so I would have won, since he probably still would have gone after the Dana. So there's my plus. I'm gonna see his back row so I can banish. I end up stopping his little summon spree with HTS. This was a fun part. Thought he was gonna attack for a second and give me a plus. Turns out he didn't. So I banished another, activated, popped that so I can attack him. I got him all the way down to 1,000 life points. If I'd attacked with Dyna, it would have been game. I think it's this next turn he got a Meteon. Yep, he summoned the Meteon. And I banished that too. Probably should have waited. Probably should have taken the damage or whatever. But otherwise, if I didn't, I would have not gotten him to the 1k. And then this is where things started to go downhill. I drew another Miracle Synchro next turn, which didn't help at all. I pretty much went downhill. I survived 5 attacks from him, and then I lost with a few face downs. Yeah, I used that. I trained since I figured I should get some HP before, so I could last a little longer. So I got that. This is where I lost. I set that, he flips over that, summons that, he attacks that. I get the one card that would have let me win. So I would have basically spammed this, gotten 2 Axon or whatever, gotten another Synchro from my grave here, and I could have won. But yeah, this is, I guess I'll come over, I'll give you guys my, deck list too, so hold. Okay guys, I'm back with, my Sayer's Psychic Grandsoil build. Before anyone starts bringing up the hate on the 45 card decks, don't forget that Mermails, or yeah, I think it was Mermails for a while, ran 45 in the deck. But for me, this deck runs really well at just 45 cards. Anyway, I run Grandsoil to help spam in case I get low on cards on the field. Even though it has a bad drawback, I don't really care much. The Red Ox for bulky defense and or to special more monsters from the grave. I got my Overdrive Teleporter, which I would usually use in conjunction with one of my emergency teleports to special Esper Girl after 2k to summon Psychic Commander and a Hush. After which, use Hush effect, banish this, Synchro for Sparkion or whatever, or in some cases the HTS. Then come back into that, get the +1, Overdrive and Esper Girl sync and pull out a Scrap Dragon or Thought Ruler, depending on the situation. I have the Giant Rat to help speed up my deck a little bit and get me some extra draw power and bring out Serene a little faster. I have Fossil Dyna in here, which actually helps the deck more than you would think. Since it easily shuts down special summoning decks, as you saw earlier, it helps shut down my opponent's Firekings. I can easily tribute this or use Fiendish or have it attacked while in defense position, but if I don't want them to start attacking it like crazy, I can always side in a safe zone. Or use the safe zone that's in here. My Serene Psychic Witch I use to either banish out my Esper Girl or my Dr. Cranium. My Dr. Cranium I use in case I use to get my Overdrive Teleporter to my hand or a different card to help me spam a little faster or get safety and stall. I run the usual 3 Psychic Commander. I run the 3 Hush Clerics since I do find that it helps with the targets for Overdrive. I run only 2 Esper Girl, which most Psychic decks run 3. I found that 2 works best for me. Again, I already explained Dr. Cranium. I run Psychic Field Zone because towards the end of the duel, when both decks have about 18 cards left or whatever, I have a few banished monsters, quite a few. One of them is usually a Synchro Psychic, and then another level 2 or 3 Tuner Psychic, of which I would use those, get out one of you, or one of you guys, one of my Psychics. Anyway, it helps. Psychokinesis helps immensely, even though it's a -1 with the 1000 damage, I believe. It pops, it works like a MST on drugs, or, yeah, I guess. My Miracle Synchro I run at 3 just so I can spam Axon Kicker or pull out an Exterio or get a +1 for draw power. My MST is random MST just to pop a back row if I need to. I run the usual 3 E-Tele. I run 2 Telepathic Power. As you saw earlier, it helps when one of my monsters gets destroyed and I'm low on HP. I can easily regain those life points to survive a little bit longer. I run 2 Mirror Force, which one of my older builds had 1 Mirror Force, so I might side one of those out later to put in another safe zone in game 2. Run 2 D Prism, which helps a lot. Safe zone I would usually run at 2, but I use 1 in here. Fiendish Chain as usual, and then the 2 Solemn. I have this really nifty combo I run with Axon Kicker and Dyna when I can do it. But usually I would spam the field, get Axon, I would still have my normal summon, so I would set Fossil Dyna. Normal U, use Safe Zone on you since it can't be destroyed regardless. Then flip summon Dyna next turn, I guess, and have one of these set. Use the other Safe Zone on the Dyna, then watch the opponent rage. Nexturia Exterio has helped me quite a bit for when my Barkion and my Beast were in my grave, which is another reason why I have the 3 Synchro Fusions. The Overmind Archfiend is basically a blocker Synchro, a blocky Synchro wall card, whatever, for Psychic Fuel Zone. And I have a Hyper Psychic in here as well for easier HP. But yeah, the Overmind Archfiend helps with spamming the field too. I have the regular Scrap Dragon in there to help with popping. I have the Thought Ruler for HP and for negations, as well as extra fuel for Axon. I have the second Transfer for more HP and to help fuel this and or Redox. Then the Barkion, the HTS Bismuth, the Magical Android to help, and Armades I found helps a bit too. If I know the opponent has a lot of cards that activate while you're attacking or whatever, or until after the damage step, this helps keep it from happening. Naturia Beast is good for locking down the spellcasters. Then I have the Catastor, which I misplayed earlier in this duel. My side deck I run 2 Midion, although I don't really use it much. I have my 2 Swift Scarecrow, which do help a bit, and I have Ancient Fairy in here for those pesky field spells, and also to help spam my field a little bit easier. I have the spare Safe Zone to fill in one of the slots. I have 2 Gozen for them dragons or whatever, even though they are dead. I have the DNA Surgery, which I was trying to get onto the field, but was unable to find, popping up into my hand. Against the whatchamacallit, the Firekings or Fire Fists. It helps against the vast majority of decks. Then Rivalry also helps if I don't run this as well. Although it wouldn't have helped as well as DNA Surgery would have against the Firekings. Anyway, this is my build. Hope you guys like it, and ciao!